Hey everybody, and welcome back to Spinach Salad. I am proud to present this new episode of Game Builder Garage, where I am going to do a programmer showcase of one of my favorite creators ever in this game. Their name is Uma. They are a Japanese creator, so some of their stuff has Japanese text instead of English text. But here, I've already in advance downloaded all of his games. This is, the reason I didn't download this one is because it's actually this one, but this one's updated. Pictobomb, Catch the Apple, Rob Mingo, Kingo Karapo, WarioWare. We're gonna go through all of them. I'm gonna show them to you, and then at the end of this, I really hope you're gonna go up to this program ID and you are going to download these games. You're gonna play these games, and you're gonna love these games. Trust me. We're gonna start with the WarioWare game. This does have complete Japanese text, so it's technically telling you instructions right here that you can't read exactly, but the goal is to play, well, if you know what WarioWare is, it's pretty simple. You have a bunch of mini games lined up and you have to complete them without failing, and you should be able to get them like when you first see them, what you're supposed to do, especially if you have played WarioWare before. By the way, this duck jumps randomly sometimes. That's pretty hard to figure out, but the art in this, like those puzzle pieces on the floor, that's beautiful. And then this little WarioWare puzzle here. The fact that he put so many mini games in one game. Oh, and he drew these fish, he drew the coral, he drew the background. He put so much effort in this. It's the first game that he published that's on his page, and it's incredible. No, people have made WarioWare games before, but I've never seen a game where people made multiple games within one game before. So yeah, this is amazing. I forget what my high score is. I have it somewhere. It's like 30 something or 40 something. But if you want to play a WarioWare game in Game Builder Garage, download Uma's Game Builder Garage game right here, because I don't think anybody's done WarioWare better. So this next game by Uma is called Kingo Karapo, and it's actually a two-player game, and you have to have like disconnected Joy-Cons. The goal is you are supposed to feel if something's in the box or not. Is there something in the box? Yes or no? The answer is no, by the way. See? Because if there is something in the box, you usually feel it around. I didn't choose an answer because I was just trying to rush through. But left is yes, basically. Left says yes, and the other one says no. So this is no, so you would choose no. Again, I chose the wrong one, just to speed it up a little bit. But I think Kingo Karapo means apple or nothing. And I don't actually know what it means. So let's feel around. There's nothing in here again. Wow. Again, there is nothing. And this time I actually chose the correct answer. It is randomized whether there is an apple in here or not. There's supposed to be an apple. I'm trying to get to the point where there actually is an apple. Alright, so in my two-player Joy-Con, or my player 2 Joy-Con, whatever, I can feel that there is an apple in here. So I'm finally gonna get to show you that there's an actual apple in here. That was the point of this. See? There is an apple. And I chose nothing because that would make it go faster. So, player 2 wins technically, but I'm playing by myself, so it doesn't count. And that is my demonstration of Kingo Karapo. All of Uma's games are top 5 games, top 3 games, number 1 games, but there's more than 5 games, so it's hard to say. This one is super fun though. So you control this guy and this TV up here, right? With like a normal, how you would normally control something. And then down in the bottom left corner, you can't really read the Japanese text. This is always the same. This is how it starts. Here are your discs that you're supposed to move, and you get to play as Rob by controlling him using the old man and going on these things. So I think his hands are already open, so that's not a good example. We should probably close his hands. You can close his hands by doing this. See? And now Rob grabs the little hockey pucks. And you can change the camera. And when you change the camera, the instructions will switch sides, but they won't change. So again, I have to explain this part. So this part's always the same, how you always start with 5 in the middle. But this is the goal. This goal always changes. It's complete RNG. So if I reset, this will be different. See? It changes every single time. And the goal is to make each of these little hockey pucks, these discs, on each of the correct platforms. So this one's number 1. You would put 2 of these on number 1. This is literally just 1. So on number 2, you would put 1 puck. And then number 5, which is back here, you would put 2 pucks. And once you've completed that, you'll get fireworks. And I forget if there's an endgame node on or just retries, but it's a really fun game. And I would 100% recommend that you play it because it's super creative, super fun, super well done, and no jank. Although if you do, can I die to this guy quickly? So if you do get hit by that thing, you will fall off of the little platform where you can control Rob through the TV. But it's a really cool game. Again, amazing work by Uma. Highly recommend you check it out. So this game is probably my favorite, but no, it's not my favorite. It was my original favorite before he made more games, and I learned new favorites. So the instructions here are supposedly simple. You have a mouse, hopefully. The title of the game is Catch the Apple. This is Catch the Apple, and then it says USB mouse required. So what you do is you take your mouse and you connect these. So now I can move and jump. Which, I mean, you can't read Japanese, I'm assuming, but it's pretty obvious this is back and forth because it says it right here. And then this is B for jump, just like it would be in normal English. You grab that to start the game, and now you collect apples, but you don't collect the purple apples because they're poisonous. And there will be like this angel in the background, this guy who floats in the background, who will benefit you if you grab him. But if these flies come over, your controls, oh no, you must reconnect them because otherwise the apples will break the platforms that you're standing on and stuff. So in order to fix that, you need to mitigate the problem. So while you're trying to play over here, you also need to fight the bugs over here, which gets a little difficult. Okay, here's the guy I was talking about. Wow, he came early. Oh no, the fly! Usually I'd be on top of this, but I am trying to do a demo here. If you fall down here, you die. But this will keep going on for a little bit. But yeah, it's a really, really good game. I'm gonna try to do it for real. Because that was just a demo, really quick demo, but I think my demo was quick enough where I can actually play the game now. You can jump, but it'd be pretty hard to jump and get the flies at the same time. Usually I just use the control stick. Where's the fly coming from? There he is. Get some apples. Again, I forgot what my high score is. It's somewhere. The important thing is that you don't hit the pause button, I guess, and that you get all the flies. You can do this with the touch screen as well. If you have a Switch Lite and you're playing, you don't actually need a mouse for this. You can just tap on the screen. Let's see if we can get 2,000 points, and then we'll move on to the next game. Oh no, it's a fly. Alright, we have 2,000 points. Let's move on to the next game. If you watch a lot of my channel, you're probably sick and tired of this because I've played this so much. Pictobomb is an incredible game. So the WarioWare game had a bunch of mini games in it, right? But Pictobomb has 25 levels of non-randomized shapes that you have to discover by using this cute little ducky here and shooting around until you uncover all the blocks that are breakable. Because if you break a block that you're not supposed to break, you'll lose a life. But if you do lose all your lives, you start back off on the stage you were on. So if you're on stage 20 and you lose all your lives, you can hit continue and continue on stage 20. But this radar tells you which blocks are okay and which ones are not. So the 3 below me, these are all okay. However, do you see which ones are not okay? This one's not okay and this one's not okay because when this line hits these 2 blocks, it turns red, which means you can't touch them. If you do touch them, you explode and you lose a life. So I have all the answers on my channel if you want to know what the answers are to all 25 stages. Right here it's a plus sign, and each one is a different shape. So there's a smiley face, there's a question mark, an exclamation point. I think there's a dinosaur in one, there's a giraffe, there's a house, there's some cherries. He was super creative with this. I don't know how he made this, especially in 512 nodons. But as you can see up here, we're using up all the resources, so go play this game if you like long puzzle games. The other thing is you can't change to a different game without losing your progress, but as long as you have this game on, or even if you put your Switch in sleep mode and return to it, you'll be good to go. this one's very interesting. By the way, I don't feel like I've mentioned this enough, but Uma does include the instructions for his games at all times when necessary. And they're not always in English, but here they're in English. So here, this game is called Bellfish, and there's a million different things you can do. It's like, it's not exactly a game as much as it's music creation. I don't know. If you press all the buttons that it tells you to press, you can do different things. Send a line through, shake lets you rearrange them. You can send different waves. Wave. According to where your cursor is. So each of your Joy-Cons does something different when you move it around. La 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 la. It's a different game than what the other ones he's done. Like I showed you, he did multi-games and one-game games. He did two-player games. And this one's like this experimental music game, which is really interesting. And he did something similar with the Zen piano I'm going to show you in a second. But yeah, it's a really creative game. Whee! Again, if you've watched my channel, you're probably sick and tired of seeing this game, but it is my favorite game in Game of the Garage, I believe. I don't think anybody's done it better. It's just flat out, completely incredible. I do have the entire line playthrough of it on my channel. In this game, as you can see, it's not hard to see what you're supposed to do. I barely need to explain it. It's a platforming puzzle adventure game where you go through books and you go through pages and you collect flags, and obviously there are going to be new pages and new books. I didn't mean to turn that page. And sometimes there's little puzzles you have to figure out, like how do I get over here? Well, you have to go to a different scene and then you can progress by coming up here and continue to capturing the flags, solving different puzzles, and exploring the different books. There is a hidden ending, there is a secret ending. So eventually there's some text that's going to come up next to a flag. You can't grab the flag, but it's going to have a flag and there's going to be some Japanese text. What you need to do is you need to find the hidden flag. That's what it says, just for clarification. But this is my favorite game in Game of the Garage, and I would 100% recommend that you go and play it. So this game, again, it's very interesting. It's not exactly a game, as much as it is a tutorial on how to create a piano. And what do I mean by how is it a tutorial? Well, if you go into the programming here, in Japanese of course, but it tells you how, not only how this game works, but how to make a game like this and how to make it work. So if you're interested in creating your very own piano, if you don't speak or read Japanese, you're gonna need a translator. But everything here is everything you need to create an awesome, awesome piano. So all you have to do is find a translator that translates all this. But some people really like making different musical instruments in Game of the Garage. So if that's your thing, come over here to Uma's Zen Piano game. Again, we have another super unique and creative game here by Uma. This is a game where you have 17 darts, and if you press the A button, you throw a dart. And the goal is to get as many darts as possible on a single color or a single number. And if you have a majority or most of them on one single color, then you will succeed. So I'll just keep spamming the button so you can see what happens at the end. I'm not even going to try. Alright, so we have thrown all 17 darts. I've done a terrible job on purpose, but it shows you your tally of everything down here. And if you get like 6 or 7 or more on one color or number, I think there's fireworks and there's happy music that plays and woo, you won. But it's a really fun game, and it has replayability, which pretty much all of his games have. But it's very interesting. And then you press A to restart and try again, and keep throwing darts until you're done. So 17 Darts was Uma's last game of 2021, in December 2021. However, he created another game called Mimigames in January, and this kind of goes back to the WarioWare game he made, where it's multiple games in one game. It says Mimigames, and I'm not sure if he meant mini games or if he meant mimi as in mimic, because all of these games are based around sound. This one, a bird spits out a bunch of music notes and you have to say how many music notes or how many sounds came across. This is a UFO where you have to know music and know the scale of like do, re, mi, fa, sol. And then this one's also a do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, mi, do, however it goes one, where you have to identify the sound to the picture. So I'll give you a quick demonstration of each of these mini games. Again, look at this, 512 nodons. He only has 512 nodons to do all of this. And of course over 700 connections, per the usual, using everything to the max in this game. But here's your bird, and you have to count how many notes come out. Not literal, like the sound. So that's 2 caws from the crow. You would put down 2. 2. Correct. And if you get one wrong, it's game over. There's no like live system. It is just automatically, if you fail, it doesn't work out. But it's pretty simple for the first few rounds, and then it gets much harder around round 10. And each of the sounds is randomized, and the amount is always different. So let me see if... Oh, and if you do reset, you automatically reset in the mini game that you started in. And if you want to exit, you just press B, which you would come to that screen if you had a game over anyway. So this game's really hard for me because I struggle with sound a lot. If you struggle with sound, by the way, Mimi Games is probably going to be horrible for you, so don't try it. Because it's just going to be frustrating. But this is called Tuning Shooter, and you have to figure out where the tune is on the meter. So it's down here. And there will be an alien that comes out, and you have to make sure you shoot him. The alien does shrink as you progress, if that seems higher. The alien does shrink as you progress, so you have to be more precise with where you are on this meter. I'm not going to keep going because I'm just going to fail really badly. But that's what this game is, Tuning Shooter by Uma. It is interesting how tuning shooting is in English, but the rest of the titles are in Japanese. I don't know what warrants whether he chooses Japanese or English, but this is the final minigame of Mimi Games. And this one's difficult because you have to know which sound corresponds to which... I'll just show you. If you get something wrong, the timer goes down faster. Mimi. Mimi? What is Mimi? That's Mimi. Mimi is ear. Bibe. Bibe. Bibe is flower. Bebo. Bebo is notes. Bebo. Bebo is notes. It's so hard to remember. Bibe. Bibe is... I don't know. I don't know. I have trouble with games with sound. So Mimi Games is not... It's really good, and I think it's an amazing game, but personally it's very difficult for me because I do struggle with sound. But anyway, that was Mimi Games by Uma, and that is a full showcasing of all of Uma's games as of January 2022. He or she is an incredible creator, absolutely S tier, one of the best in Game of the Garage. If you're not following their programmer ID, checking it monthly, because they release a new one about every month or 2. Like 2 per month, not every 2 months. They're very good about their creations. Top of the line, top of the money. And they should get a prize for how good they are in this. But yeah, that was my Uma's Creators Showcase. Let me know what you thought of these games. If you play these games, please let me know. And yeah, please enjoy these amazing Game Builder Garage games. I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye!